everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming Marvel Legends 6-inch scale Mockingbird figure, which is part of Hasbro's Captain America Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure wave. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we're seeing with all the new Marvel Legends for 2016. You've got that Build-A-Figure logo up at the top, you've got the Legends series logo, the figure's clearly displayed in the window box packaging, and then you have the Captain America logo down below. For this series, the box is in black and blue highlights. And the figure is packaged in the same packaging as Agent 13, and they're listed as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So on one side we have artwork for Mockingbird, and then the other side we have artwork for Agent 13 Sharon Carter. And then on the back of the packaging we have a look at both figures, a brief bio in multiple languages, and then down below all the figures in this Red Onslaught / Red Skull Build-A-Figure wave. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the other contents. Now before I get into the review, first let me just say that this wave has not yet been released at retail. As I mentioned in the Cottonmouth figure review we did yesterday, I picked these up from an overseas seller so I could do reviews early for the wave for you. I don't have a firm release date on them. I think they'll probably be released either the end of this month or early next month, but that's primarily just a guess on my part at this point. When I do have a more firm, concrete release date, I'll be sure to let you guys know. I'll either post it in a future video review or we'll post it up on Marvelous News. Now the figure comes with the torso piece for that Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure, as well as the shoulder pads. We'll be doing a full-on review for Onslaught once we've looked at all the figures in this wave, so be sure to check back for that. Now besides the Onslaught pieces, the figure comes with the Daredevil Billy Clubs. We've seen these released with several figures in the line already. This time they're done in a silver grayish type paint. You've got the ridges sculpted on the side, or up at the top I mean, and they are still done with that kind of soft rubber plastic, so they do come out of the packaging a little bent. You can put them together or you can take them apart, and she can hold both of them in her hands nice and tight. Both hands are sculpted so she holds them pretty good. Now unfortunately they did not give you any place to store them on her costume when she's not holding them or using them. In the comics I think she attaches them to the bottom of her wrists, but these are actually probably a little too big for that. They would look kind of funny if they had done that. So for the figure itself, as far as I can tell, this seems to be a fairly new sculpt. I don't recognize any of the parts from previous figures. Certainly if you do, feel free to chime in, but honestly even if it was a reuse of an existing sculpt, I wouldn't care that much, because I think they've done a really nice job with capturing the overall look of this modern costume for Mockingbird with this figure. So you've got the boots that go up over her knees, and you've got the little circles sculpted on the knee guards, and you've got the strap sculpted on the back of the boots. So I think that looks good. You've got this white belt which is sculpted on the figure, and you've got the little squares off to the side like you see in the comic, and then you've got the pouches on the back which are sculpted on there. She's got the buttons that are sculpted that go up her torso, and then she's got these wrist guards which are done in a dark silver metallic paint, and they've got ridges sculpted in there. Now the original costume, when she had debuted with this costume originally, I think she had the flowing sleeves more in keeping with her original costume that she wore in like West Coast Avengers and stuff, but then they did away with that and it just had the wrist guards. It would have been nice, as I mentioned before, if you could attach her little sticks to the bottom of her wrists, but I still like the detailing on the figure overall. Skin tones are good. I like the skin tone, not too pale or anything. She's got the glasses, which are done with the yellow translucent plastic for the lenses, and then the white. And I'm not a fan of these glasses, but again, they look pretty true to what you see in the comics. They do magnify the eyes a little bit, but that's not too big a deal. I like the hair sculpting. Now, not a lot of paint applications in the hair. It's just kind of a yellow plastic type color, but the sculpting of it's nice. And then she's got the pink lipstick. So again, I think they've done a really nice job with the overall sculpting and capturing the look of this costume. And the paint applications are pretty solid. You've got dark navy, and then on the lower part of the arms, and it's hard to tell, but it's actually black, which again is comic book accurate. I don't know why they've got the two tones on the sleeves for the costume, but that is pretty true to what we see in the comics. And so you've got the black on the lower arm and then the dark navy on the upper arm and throughout the rest of the costume. You've got the black on the boots, and then you've got the white in the midsection of the costume and on the inner thighs of the leg. And paint applications seem to be pretty clean. There's not much in the way of sloppy paint marks or anything. The line work on the costume is solid. So overall, I'd say they've done a pretty nice job with this. This figure stands over 6 inches tall, pretty close to 6 1/4 inches tall. Here she is next to the Marvel Now Hawkeye figure, and Hawkeye is a bit taller. Just for one more comparison, here she is next to some of her fellow female Avengers. Articulation is good on the figure for the most part. The head is on a ball hinge joint, so she can look left and right even with the hair. The hair is kind of a harder plastic, so it does limit some of her head turning, but you can still get it to turn pretty good. She does not have a whole lot of up or down movement with the head, again because of the hair. You've got the ball hinge joints at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good, and she's got good rotation there at the shoulder. She does not have a bicep swivel, but she does have a swivel at the elbow. It's a single hinged elbow, but she can still bend it pretty good. She's got the swivels at the wrist, and she's got hinges on the hands, so she's got good up and down movement with the hands. She's got the midsection joints, so she's got the rotation at the midsection. You can also kind of pivot to the left and the right. She's got a little bit of a crunch there, and she can look back a bit. She does not have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with ball joints, so she can do the splits about that much. She can do her leg forward good, and she can do her leg kind of out and back. She's got the thigh swivel. She's got a double jointed knee, and the knee pad does not limit the leg movement at all because it's sculpted. The knee pad is sculpted, separately from the rest of the boot. She does not have a boot cuff swivel of any kind. She has the hinges on the feet, so she's got good up and down movement with the feet, and she does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of her feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. I think they've done a really nice job with capturing the overall look as she appears in the comics with this most modern costume. My only real complaint, I guess, would be I don't really like these Daredevil billy clubs that they use for her sticks. I think they're a little bit on the big side, and it would have been nice if they had made it so you could attach it to the bottom of her wrists when she's not holding them. But other than that, I think this is a great looking figure, and if you're a fan of the Mockingbird character, then I think this is one that you're definitely going to want to add to your collection. So, as I said, I don't have a release date on this wave as of yet, but hopefully this should be out by the end of this month or early next month at some point. We'll have a full gallery of images up at marvelousnews.com. There's a link in the description below. And as always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.